If you're just getting started with WordPress, there are a lot of steps to set up a new site. And so this video is going to walk you through some of those. And I'm going to specifically focus on people that are trying to set up a small business site for a trade or a service like landscaping or a plumber or electrician. Not that this information here won't be useful for everyone, but I'm going to kind of focus on that niche and explore some of the options that you have specifically when setting up a website for that type of business. I'm going to use a DevPress theme called Luminate to show you how to set all this stuff up. Though again, this information can be used with a lot of themes. You don't necessarily need to use this one, but it's one that I built. It's really good. I like using it, and you can do all the stuff that you'd want for a small business website in one of these trades. So let's dive in. I got a fresh WordPress install here, and if you don't already have WordPress hosting lined up, look for a link in the post here, and I'll talk about some hosting options. But I'm going to assume you already have that taken care of, and we're going to click continue here, and just put in your site information. So we'll call this, I'm going to show how to set up a plumbing website. So I'll just set this up as Joe Plumber. And you set up your username, whatever password you want, probably stronger than mine. And go ahead and click install WordPress. Now, we're in the site, and this is a fresh install, and you can view it over here. And this is using the default theme 2015. And if you go into Appearance Themes, you'll see some of the other themes that you can choose from. These are the other default WordPress themes. And so first thing we're going to do is upload this Luminate theme, which is the one I created and I'm going to show how to use. And so you just click upload theme here, have the zip file on my desktop, click open and install that. And this is how you install any commercial theme. So if you're purchasing a commercial theme, this is how you would do it. Activate, and we see it's here. Now when I view the site, if I refresh it, I just have this basic site set up. So I'm going to base this on a site that a plumber in my neighborhood actually has. They're called Wilson Plumbing, and they've helped me out a number of times. And they have a really basic website, and I think it's good just to look at this, and we'll show how to set up all the features they kind of have in their website using a WordPress theme. Their site, I think, has all the important information that you'd want in a services website. They have their phone number up here, which is important if you want to contact them. They establish their credibility here. Say they're the #1 on Angie's list. They have this high rating here. And then they have information about themselves down here. So you can find out what services they have. You can read about them and what they do. If you want to get in contact, you can get in touch with them. So we're going to basically follow this model of how to set up this website, but we're going to do it with a WordPress theme. So the first thing we want to do is let's recreate these items that they have here, these different pages. And so to do that, we'll go into Pages. WordPress already sets up a default page for you when it just installs, so let's throw that away. And we'll add a new one, and we'll call this one the About page. And let's go back here. And so if we were migrating this site, for instance, we could just copy the information or copy the text that you want to use there, paste it in. If you wanted to use the same image, I have to download it, but assume you'd have your own image, and pull that out. It's kind of inserted to the left here, and they have this caption, so we could do that too. Just click Add Media, drop the file in. If you want to it already has the caption in there. We'll insert it into the page. Now we'll publish this page. And we can view it. You see it didn't float to the left here. So we can always change that, edit it, and instead of align none, we're gonna align left. Update that. And also we see on this page there's comments, and you probably don't want comments on your page. So we can turn those off. You go into the screen options and look for discussion if it's not already active, and we're just gonna disallow those comments. Now we see real quick, we set up a page pretty much like they had over here. You also see they have this stuff in their sidebar, whereas we have all this junk over here. This is called the widget area. So to change out those things in the sidebar, we're gonna go under Appearance, click Widgets. These are just like all the defaults that got put in there, so you can delete those one by one. Let's say we want to leave the search in there, we can do that. And this is their Angie's List ward, so you'd probably want to download this image and then upload it into your media library in order to use it. But I'm just gonna take what they have here real quick just to show how it's done. Well, you wouldn't be in the dev tools, so here, let's just do it like this. Click and see an award of our work, and this is just going to be an arbitrary text widget. And we can paste that information in there, and then what do they have here? Like Angie's List award. Save that. Now we see this is in the sidebar. So like that image, if we wanted to upload this image too, we could save that. And we could upload it into our media library. Now this would be available to us. If you know HTML, you just copy this and you'd insert it as an image, but if you don't, there's a trick. You can just use the media library here, and we'll insert this image, and then we can go over here and we can copy that image now and go back to our widgets. And insert that HTML, and now we should have this over here. So we've kind of recreated what they're doing in the sidebar. They have some other things like the BB rating, but you can add all that stuff in the same way. They have two other pages here. Let's go ahead and finish those out. I'm going to add a new page for services. And we'll add one for our contact page. And we'll add one for the home page too. And one for the blog. Notice we still don't have a menu up there. We need to set that up, and when we go to the home page, we're just seeing like a list of our most recent posts, and that's a sample one that was there from when we installed WordPress. So let's figure out how to set the home page. I'm going to go to the reading options here, and I can do a static page, and I'm going to go ahead and set the home page there and save that. Now when I go to the home page, it's going to show that home page that I created. And again, I'm going to hop in there and I'm going to not have comments on this page. So when I view this at the root there and see what they have on their home page, just some information. So we'll go ahead and display that as well. They also have a blog on their site, and when I looked at this earlier, this looks like they actually do have a WordPress site. It's different than their main site, but this is just for their blog. So if you set up a WordPress site for your whole site, you can still have a blog as part of that. And so you just got to set it under your reading options and your post page. That's going to be that blog page. We can't get to any of this though, so let's set up our menus. This is also under the appearance menu in menus. And we're going to create a new menu. We'll just call this our main menu. And we'll go ahead and throw all these items we just created in there. And organize it how you want. Probably about there. Let's put our blog there. And then this theme has 3 menu locations. So a top menu, a primary, and a footer. And since I've worked with this theme before, I know the primary menu is the one we want. When we do that, that pops in there. And if we go on a mobile menu, it shows all this stuff in the sidebar rather than there. So pretty easy to set up. You probably don't want it to say home, so you might say best plumbers in Austin, something like that. And we're good to go. You might want to, okay, so now the menu changed, so you can go back to the menu and change that. So we're not going to change the title, we'll just change what it says in the menu. So this is super basic site, and this, with pretty much any theme you can get this far and just set up this basic information here. I'm going to go ahead and show you some more features of this theme that I think are pretty cool. So they'll be specific to the Luminate theme. But some stuff that they have here, they have a logo. You may want to show a logo on your site. So let me just copy that out. Not all themes have a logo option, so you'll want to check. I'm just going to crop this down a little bit. Hopefully you have a version of your logo already cropped that you can use. So we're just going to save that, call it our logo. In this theme, and probably most themes you use, if there is a logo option, it's going to be here in the customize section. And so we just select the image that we want to display as the logo. Drop it in there, we'll choose that image, and we'll see it shows in right there. Since it's now showing my logo, I don't need to display the site title. Maybe on some sites you would. Save and publish this. And now we have our logo up there, no problem. Next thing is this specific theme comes with a nice template that you can use on the home page to show different sections of your website. So if you wanted to do that, you'd go to our home page here and just click edit, and we'd set a different default template. We'd set the page showcase template, and now when we view the site, it says, hey, you need to select some pages to display. You also do that in the customizer. And these are all the sections. So what do we want? Probably that home page. Second one, probably an about page. And we can see these pop in as we do this. maybe a services page, and maybe our contact page. And you can see this specific theme has a couple different options for layout. So if I was going to do a layout that was with the sidebar, if I wanted this information still to be on the sidebar, I'd probably only select 3 things to show here, or maybe I'd select 4 to show up there. I'd also have the option, and this is specific to this theme, is to do a single column. And if we did that, then we'd have no sidebar, and this would just stretch all the way across. We'd add some services here. Let's get back to the Wilson homepage, see what services they offer. Copy these in. And close our discussion. And they have an image here. Ideally, you'd probably want a bigger image. And photography is so important for your website. I think it's generally worth hiring someone to come out and take photos of some work that you've done, hire a professional, or get someone you know who's really good at taking photographs, because photographs really showcase your work and what you're doing and what your services are, and can really make a difference when someone's trying to figure out what service to choose. But we'll just use this image for now, and if we go to the home page, we'll see that fills in right there under your services. For contact, probably want to set up a contact form. Let's see what they do on the Wilson site. I'm not exactly sure. They just have a phone number, so that's always important to do, right? But let's set up a contact form as well. And to do this, we'll need to install a plugin. The one that I recommend using is the Jetpack plugin. So you just go to your plugins, add new, install now, and it'll take a second. We'll activate it. And you'll see this button up here now. We can check our settings. So this is giving me a notice that I'm in development mode, so I can use a lot of these things. If you're installing this on your server, it'll say, hey, you need to connect to WordPress.com, and they'll have a little link there. And this doesn't mean that your site's going to move to WordPress.com. It's still going to be hosted where it's hosted. This plugin just requires you to connect because they offer a lot of services through .com, like they'll host your images so they load faster and other things. So they ask you to connect, so you do that. Since I'm working on a local server here, I can just activate these as I like. So I'm going to activate the contact form plugin here. Now when I go to my, I want to be on my contact page. I'll pop back into the visual mode here, and I can add a contact form. And if you need to change any of these fields, you can. Maybe you want to add like a phone number field. You can do something like that. Say text, just call it phone number, whatever you like. And maybe you want that, maybe the website one is not relevant, so you take that out. And then you can add that form there. And then since this is set on the home page too, let's get back to the home page. We want to select an image if you can find a good one. If you don't have a good image right offhand, you can go to, there's a number of sites that have free stock photos. So you could maybe just look up a stock photo of like a phone, like this one. Oops. Phone. And then I'll set this as my featured image here. I'll update that. You can see how good photography kind of makes the site looks a lot better. So again, if you can get good photography, highly recommend it. One other thing that's cool about this theme is that you can put information in a top bar. So like a phone number or hours of operation or stuff like that. So let's go back to customize and see an example of how that works. In this top navigation here, it says text display in the top. And so I'll go back to here and say, let's get that phone number. Yeah, it's not pasting for some reason, so I'll just type it in. And save. And we'll see now that the phone number is appearing up here at the top. Remember, I also said there's these menu items too, and we have a top menu. So you might want to add maybe some more menu items up there. And we'll call this a social menu. Maybe you have a Facebook page, maybe you have a Twitter page, maybe you have something like that. You can do custom links here. And just type in the URL of whatever that is. And we'll add that to their menu, and we'll set that as the top menu. And you'll see now when I refresh, I got a link to Twitter. Not all themes will display an icon like that. Some will. But if it didn't, it would just be displaying the link to Twitter. This theme also has some options for the footer. So if you wanted terms of service or different things in the footer, you could add those links down there. There's also footer widgets in this theme, so you could do things like, actually let's go show off some more Jetpack features, which are kind of cool and which we can use in the footer. So one thing, they have extra sidebar widgets. We'll go ahead and activate those. And then I'll go back into the widget section here. And you can see these different things, these different widgets that are added, like a Facebook like box, or display just like a basic image, links. And what I am looking for is hours. Yeah, contact info. So we're gonna throw that in here. And this is already all set, right? So I'm just gonna save it. And if we go to a page that actually has a sidebar, you can see that a map is in here, hours of operation. And then I can move maybe some of these other widgets that don't need to be there. Maybe I want these to display in the footer. And when I do that, these are now down here. This theme supports up to 3 things in the footer, so maybe we'd also display our recent posts. Oops. And this is super big, so you might want to size down that image or do stuff like that. But hopefully this has been helpful in showing you just how to get really basics started for setting up your own website. Definitely, if you have any questions, leave a comment, send me an email, and hope this has been instructive. All right.